I live in Mullumbimby. It's a quiet little country town on the north coast of New South Wales. It's a peaceful, small population town, and doesn't mean our house is quiet. We've got 3 young kids, so they're always running riot around the place, and me and my wife trying to just contain them. But yeah, it's so much fun, and we just love it. It's a busy lifestyle, and there's never a dull moment. Always looking forward for a little road trip.
Road trips for me generally represent, I guess, getting away from the stress of home in Sydney and just kind of cruising and doing things at my own pace. But yeah, like that 200 hours period was pretty different. Basically, like as soon as you place a time limit on anything, you completely change that dynamic. All of a sudden there's this pressure and sort of expectation, and you almost feel like getting skunked just isn't an option.
Once you check the charts, you try and make a rough plan of places you want to surf on the trip, and it's never going to work out like that. The charts change every day, the winds change, the swells change. The only thing that stays the same is the tide and the sun rises, so it is pretty stressful. Check our phones, check the internet 5 times, 10 times a day, and when you go to bed that night, you still don't know if you've made the right decision. You sort of wake up and see what's in front of you, and the vibe can go up and down depending on if you're scoring waves. Sometimes you get pretty bummed when you drive 6 hours through the early morning and you think the spot's going to be good, and you rock up and it's small, and it's pretty devastating.
It was just so much driving, like pretty much just yo-yoed our way up and down the whole East Coast. It was just lucky that we had a good crew to sort of save us from going insane. Drove all day and drove all night, but once the sun comes up and you get that first initial glimpse of good waves, nothing else matters. You pretty much just hit the water and everything just washes away.
I'm too old for my skin. I'm too aged for my burns. Everything that lies within the outside never shows. 'Cause I'm a young blood with an old heart, and eyes that see more than they should. I'd die of old age if I could. The time just seems to go so fast. At times it feels like I'm not real. I think I'm living in the past, 'cause the future has no appeal. 'Cause I'm a young blood with an old heart, and eyes that see more than they should. I'd die of old age if I could. Oh, won't you tell me, dear, where do I go from here? Oh, won't you tell me, dear, where do I go from here? Oh, won't you tell me, dear, where do I go from here? Where do I go from here?
Sometimes when I sit back and think about trips like this, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. you drive 8 hours through the night, no sleep, get there, hike kilometers through the bush, and then you end up just jumping into freezing cold ocean. But when you're actually there, watching the sun come up in such a beautiful place with all these really good friends, you can't imagine being anywhere else. There's no buildings, no traffic, no pollution, no man-made bullshit. So nothing complicated or confusing about it. It's just getting back to the simple moments that bring you so much enjoyment.
Obviously, on a trip like this, you want to try and be a standout, so it gets pretty competitive when you've only got the 200 hours. There's a lot of guys chasing it and a lot of photogs and good riders, so my personal goals, I just wanted to get a few good shots and get some good waves on the new VS boards. Throw a little plug in, eh? The East Coast pretty much has the most variety I've seen on any coast. It has wedgie beach breaks to heavy slabs that I hadn't surfed in years, and it's just amazing. It's just fun to do some spins, do some airs, and obviously get barreled. On the road, we met up with a lot of boys. We got to share a lot of brews with Nico, Benny P, Amori, Stoney, Finlay, Nick Gornell. You know, all the boys hung out and we got some good waves, and yeah, it was good to share some good times and hear where those guys surfed and didn't surf, and you know, everyone just talks a lot of crap, really.
So you go out again, I'll have Jonathan and Jack
was hard to sort of enjoy some sessions because you're always sort of thinking about where the next place is you're going to surf and what you want to do and what you want to achieve. So yeah, it was good, but it was tough work. Road trips are always a pretty tiring thing. You're always running on about 4 or 5 hours sleep and trying to maximise surf time, say 6 or 8 hours a day. So by the end of it, it was interesting to just see it all unfold, and then after the 200 hours, just see what we put together.
Not all trips keep to such an intense schedule, but I think it's interesting to think, like, when does the search ever really stop? You know, when are you ever fully satisfied? And I guess the reality is that it never really is, and you never really are. You know, you're always going to be hanging for that next trip down the coast, or the next time you head overseas to explore some foreign coastline. And when you're so enthusiastic and passionate about riding quality waves, I guess you're just always going to be asking the question, where to next?